Sometimes there's an ancient feel to this place of the many, many people who have used it. To love it, you need to know it. Getting on it and paddling, moving slowly enough to hear the birds, the wind through the trees. Okay.
For Dawn Nelson, when she paddles the Duck River,
I love that it's in my hometown where I grew up.
she sees a timeless treasure.
It's the most environmentally diverse, most biologically diverse on our continent, third in the world. But this particular section is the most diverse of the entire river.
It's a bitter pill to swallow.
But for Jason Gillum,
This is one of my special spots on the farm because you get up here and you get an appreciation for the view.
seeing the Duck River only represents broken promises.
It would be great to just have the land used for what they said they were going to do with it in the first place.
A dam in some form has been on the Duck River since the 1920s. This one doesn't hold back any water. But in the 1970s, TVA wanted to build a much larger one, a few miles upstream, to form a new lake.
The fence line is right down there. They want to give us constant reminders that you can't come over here now. You used to, but not now.
The federal government used eminent domain to obtain 15,000 acres of the land they needed.
That's the TWRA post. That's their boundary post.
Including a large chunk of Jason's grandmother's farm.
Yeah, you can see the cornfield out there. That used to belong to us. My grandmother was alone when the TVA came and said, "Hey, you know, we got to take part of your farm for this lake." And you know, she didn't want to sell. None of these families wanted to sell.
Work began on the dam, and over 10 years, most of the concrete was poured on the towering structure. Then in 1983, an environmental lawsuit changed everything.
But the river stopped the dam before the dam could stop it.
After endangered species were discovered nearby,
They said that those two species of mussel cannot survive below a dam.
For another decade, the dam site sat abandoned until TVA decided in the late 1990s to spend even more money to demolish it.
And a mile away, millions of their tax dollars and yours is being reduced to rubble.
I don't think it should be tore down. I think what they should do, I don't know why they started it in the first place, but I think they ought to finish their job.
Only the land for the envisioned lake wasn't returned to the original landowners. Much of it became a wildlife management area for the state.
So we want it back. And we got as much right to it as anybody, probably more.
Would there be some sort of, I don't know, justice to you seeing that land that was taken finally being used for what its intended purpose was?
Well, absolutely, it would. They took the land for a lake, put the lake there.
Jason is now a part of a group, Columbia Dam Now, lobbying hard for the structure to be rebuilt. Their number one reason? The explosive growth this area is seeing.
They have 8,000 permitted water taps that have not yet been put in place. Being on the Maury County Water System Water Board, I know the dire need we have for water. The bottom line is, if we don't get this water situation figured out, one of these days we're going to walk into our homes and we're going to turn our faucet on and it's going to drip. It's just going to drip. This is the original channel. But you can see how big this lake would be.
But TVA was still in the process of acquiring land when construction was still underway.
If you look right here, this is where the water would be. That's 12,600 acres.
Jason estimates another 1,000 acres would be needed.
This is where the rock quarry is, actually. The lake there would be like 150 feet deep.
Including homes, farms, and businesses.
We're out of business, for sure. Yeah, sorry, I get emotional.
Businesses like Higher Pursuits canoe and kayak rentals would go underwater.
The darker shade of pink is land that still has to be purchased, which is pretty substantial.
They believe TVA would need thousands of more acres because the agency typically acquires some buffer room.
You buy enough so that you can flood, and then you also buy enough so that there's federal control of the shoreline.
We actually started in 1998 as a team building company.
Jan Seifert co-owns Higher Pursuits with Dawn.
The Duck River is a special place for a lot of different reasons.
She says to truly understand the Duck River, you have to go out on it.
Okay, ready?
So, we did. Along with the supporters of the group, Don't Dam the Duck.
The goal is here to listen.
All of this would be underwater. The rock formations, the trees, all of it.
Dawn says she totally gets the need for more drinking water.
I understand that human needs come first, but humans also have the ability to make good decisions.
But she contends there are alternatives floating around that wouldn't take away their clear stream, riverside caves, and abundant wildlife that can only survive on a river, not a lake.
This is a rabbit's foot. See how it resembles the shape of a back foot of a rabbit.
Including the very species that stopped construction on the dam.
And you said these are purple
warty back.
Purple warty back, and we love the reason why it's called a warty back. Purple on the inside and warty on the outside.
While the Duck River's rocky floor is full of old mussel shells, avid kayaker Stephanie Newland found one still alive.
It has a fleshy mantle that's kind of exposed, and then when you startle them, they close up.
She says these creatures are way more than just a pretty shell. They're tiny river cleaners.
As a filter feeder, literally water just flows through them, and they filter small micronutrients out, which clarifies the water and keeps it clear. So I'm going to go put back everything I found, especially the living one. This guy, I marked the spot that he came from.
They worry a lake would still drive them to extinction.
Have a good life, get down there and filter.
Transplanting them won't work, and then to transplant that many species, I would struggle to see the success in that.
It's just one of the unfortunate, aspects of having to have water, and you've got to look at what's more important.
He thinks they have enough federal support to do a feasibility study into resurrecting the dam.
The dam site is beyond those trees.
But the feasibility may still be a challenge. It's hard to get back to where the original dam site was.
In the winter months, you can kind of look back there and you can kind of see where it is. It's too bad we're not in a helicopter. We could, fly over it and you could really get to see it.
Luckily for us, we have Sky 5. Flying over the old dam site, initially it's hard to tell what's actually down there, but when you take a closer look, you can see that some earth has been impounded for where that dam used to be. We're told that maybe there's still a concrete foundation down there, but essentially TVA is going to have to completely start all over.
This is a 50-year endeavor that we've always wanted to see come to fruition.
For Jason, the completion of the project would make up for the wounds of the past.
You can't get rid of that memory that it used to belong to your family, and now the government's got it.
But for Dawn, it would create new scars that would never heal.
I would just like to know that this is safe. I would like to know that this is going to be here. I won't be here forever. My business won't even be here forever, but the river should be.
With photojournalist Angie Donez, Chris Davis, News Channel 5.